attended Clown Bar and had a wonderful time. It was a great show. But the moment that I remember most, that stays at the forefront of my mind when it comes to Theater on Fire, is during the performance, the audience was set up in a cabaret style. There were tables where audience members could sit. There was even a bar where audience members could order drinks. And my brilliant wife and I were seated at one of the little tables close to the stage. And during the performance, Jeff Gill, who played Bobo the clown boss, came up behind me and put his giant hand on top of my head as he delivered one of his lines. The entire audience was staring at him, they were staring at me, and I was filled with sort of a terrified glee.
One of my favorite experiences with Theater on Fire, in fact, one of my favorite theater experiences ever, was when I saw It Felt Empty When the Heart Went Out at First, But It's All Right Now by Lucy Kirkwood. And it moved all throughout the theater, starting in the main room of the Charlestown Working Theater, bringing us upstairs and then bringing us back downstairs. And there are moments in that production that I will never forget. And the song Teenage Dream by Katy Perry was completely changed for me that day. And to this day, if I hear that song on the radio, the first thing I think of is the scene it was used in, just so perfectly. And it was one of the few times as a young person in Boston where I saw a show that used everything it had at its fingertips to its advantage. In addition, with bringing in a guest director like Maureen Shea, who is a major mentor of mine, and that show really solidified the fact that I really, really wanted to work with her and I wanted to assist her and learn everything I could from her. And I think it was such a beautiful way of using the space.
I ran the soundboard for the first couple of years of Theater on Fire shows. In those days, the soundboard was basically a CD player, and it was up in the thing that used to be a chimney back when the theater was a fire station. So a lot of my memories are basically watching shows, being only able to see about 2/3 of the stage and pushing play and pause at the same time to get ready for the next sound cue. I do remember working on the set for Race, the second production, which was basically a lot of supermarket crates tied together with zip line, and it was in this kind of platform shape, and audience members would sit on it to be purposefully uncomfortable. And I was working on it in the basement in January, and it was really cold, so I had my winter coat on building this crazy set. But it did get an Ernie nomination. I think that's sort of the best thing about the Theater on Fire legacy, spinning crates and zip lines into Ernie nominations.
I'm John Joyce, and I was the entire cast of the first ever inaugural production. Darren was directing for Zeitgeist theater company, and we hit it off. He was wearing a Billy Bragg t-shirt. I figured this guy likes music, he's got good taste, he's smart, he's bright, he doesn't have an ego. Sometime later he said he was starting a theater company, and I assumed he was just letting me know that there'd be auditions coming up. And he said he wanted to make his inaugural production a one-man show, and he wanted me to be his cast. 22, 23 characters. At a certain point, I ran out of voices and physicalities, and I was just absolutely burnt trying to remember an hour-plus show on my own. And but Darren was always there, just with simple, concise, clear direction. Hey, man, just say it twice as fast. It'll work. And there was no time to question it. There was no one else to confer with. It was just absolute trust. It was like one dude, one director, and Sarah Enterman running lights on that show. And of course, Brooke was behind the scenes. It changed my life for the better. We got nominated for Ernies and a bunch of awards and stuff like that. I'm out here in Los Angeles doing my actor artiste thing, and I love you, Darren. I love you. I love you. I love you. Kudos and congratulations. I don't know what you're going to do next, but it's going to be amazing. Yeah, Peace. I'm glad I was there to share it with you.